Hello and welcome back. I'm Joseph Hoffman. Today is very exciting because we are learning about a whole new kind of time signature. So far, we've seen lots of different numbers on top of our time signature, like 4-4, 2-4, 3-4, but on bottom, it's always been that same old number 4. Today, we're going to learn more about what that number actually means and how to count rhythms when that bottom number changes. Oh boy, we're finally learning about that bottom number. My music theory excitement meter is off the charts. I'm glad you too are excited. So let's come to my whiteboard to explain. Let's assume we wanted to dictate the rhythm to one phrase from a familiar song we learned a long time ago. Let us chase the squirrel. How would we write that rhythm? We could write it like this. T, 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 ta, ta. Now, if we wanted to figure out the time signature for this, we'd have to figure out where our strong beats were. Let us chase the squirrel. And for this song, it fits nicely in groups of 2 beats. Which means we could say our time signature is 2-4, which put another way, you can think of this bottom number as meaning quarter notes. If you see a 4 on the bottom, we're really saying there are going to be 2 quarter note beats in every measure. Here's one quarter note size beat, another quarter note size beat, and then we start a new measure of 2 quarter note size beats. Because remember, 2/8 notes equals 1 quarter note. Let's dictate the rhythm of this song now. Over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. What rhythm did you hear up here on over the river and... Those were 8th notes. T, 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 T. But what's special about these 8th notes this time is they're in groups of 3 instead of our usual groups of 2. And the reason for that is where the strong syllables of the words are. We have over the river and. So we can hear a strong syllable there on O, ver, the, and then river and. They're kind of in groups of 3. Over the river and. Technically, this is the exact same rhythm we had, but with them in groups of 2, it would sound like this. Over the river and. Sounds kind of crazy. So it's important how you group the 8th notes to match the flow of the music or the words. Now let's dictate a little more. We have through the woods to. You'll notice there's kind of a longer sound on through and then a slightly faster sound on the. Through the woods to. So for that, we need a quarter note followed by an 8th note. You remember that when an 8th note is all by itself, it gets a flag. These are also 8th notes, so they go just as quick as this 8th note, but it's all by itself now. Through the woods to. Now let's figure out a little bit more. What would grandmothers be? Grandmothers. That would be T, 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 a group of 3 8th notes. Once again, we've got a strong syllable and then 2 weaker ones. Grandmothers. House we go. House we. Let's just figure out this one. House we. Once again, we have a ta, ti, or a quarter note, 8th note. And then go actually is a dotted quarter note because it lasts even a little extra long. Go. Now try to say the whole thing in rhythm words with me. We'll say TT for any 8th notes, ta or ta, just a little extra ah for that dot. Ready, go. T, 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 ta, T, ta, T, 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 ta, T, ta. Now, are you curious what the time signature of this rhythm is? It's actually 6/8. Now, for the first time, we have a number other than 4 on the bottom. When you have 6/8, what that is really saying is that you have 6 8th note beats in every measure. We've always had quarter note beats so far, but sometimes, because the music is getting a little bit fancier, we can have eighth note beats. So here's beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we need a bar line. 6 eighth note beats in the measure. 6/8 is your time signature. So we'd count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you notice 4 is kind of a secondary strong beat. We have our strong beat on 1 as always, and beat 4 is a strong beat too, which you can see by how the eighth notes are grouped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Now if an eighth note is 1 beat, how many beats would a quarter note be? You're so used to thinking of this as 1 beat, but in 6/8 it actually is 2 beats. Because a quarter note equals 2 eighth notes, if an eighth note is our beat now, because the 8's on the bottom, now a quarter note will be 2 beats. Basically everything will be double what it used to be. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try clapping this rhythm while we count the beat out loud. So can you get ready and clap with me while we count the beat out loud? We'll go a little bit slow this first time. Ready? I'll count 6 beats to get ready, then we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Now, let's figure out this row. Actually, first I should place another bar line here because we used up our 6 beats with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now down here, where shall I place my first bar line? Can you figure it out and point to it? If you pointed right here, you're correct. Here's beat 1, 2, 3. The quarter note gets 2 beats, so that's 4, 5. And here's beat 6. Then we need a bar line. Can you clap this rhythm with me in this measure? Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Now, here's a tricky math problem for you. And here's where music starts to get a little bit more mathematical. How many beats would a dotted quarter note get if we are in 6/8 time signature? If you said 3, you're correct. And there are a couple ways you could figure that out. You could remember that in our old 4/4 time signature, this used to equal 1.5 beats. And what is 1.5 doubled? Well, 1.5 times 2 equals 3. And so with an 8 on the bottom, again, everything is doubled. Everything that used to be 1 beat is now 2 beats. If it used to be 1.5 beats, now it'll be 3 beats. We could also think about our half note, which used to equal 2 beats, but now it's going to equal, I should say, times 2. That is now going to equal 4 beats. 4 beats for a half note. Or let's try another one. With our dotted half note, which used to equal 3 beats, now times that by 2, we'll get 6 beats now for the dotted half note. Now in music, it's against the rules to have an incomplete measure, so we need something to fill this measure out, and it's actually a rest that we need. If we have 3 beats so far, how many beats are left in the measure? If you said 3, you're correct. So we could use a dotted quarter rest, which equals 3 beats, to fill out the rest of the measure. And now we're ready for another bar line. Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter is an example of a song with a 3/8 time signature. So that means there'll be 3 eighth notes in every measure, and you could count it like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can you try counting along as I play? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Three eighth notes per measure. Another song from a movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, has a song in 6/8. So 6 eighth notes per measure that sound like this. that one, the eighth notes are going really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with an 8 on the bottom, you often get this very lilting sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a really fun time signature. Here's another rhythm to try. What time signature do we have this time? If you said 3/8, you're correct. What does 3/8 mean? Well, it means 3/8 notes per measure. So can you help me put in some bar lines? Point to where the first bar line should go. It should be here after these 3/8 notes. Now we only have 3/8 notes per measure, so we need a bar line there. Point to the next one. It should be here. And then point to the next one. Should be right here. And then point to the last bar line. This dotted quarter note, remember, with an 8 on the bottom, gets 3 beats. So we'll put a bar line right there. Now, one thing that can be helpful to do if you're learning a new song that's in some kind of advanced meter like 3/8, you might want to write the beats in your music right under the note head. So we have 1, 2, 3, and this quarter note gets 2 beats. So I'm going to write 1 and 2 in the space of that one note. 1, 2, here's my 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then this one gets 1, 2, 3. Writing in the counts can be a good strategy for figuring out rhythms. Try it on your own. Clap the rhythm while you count the beat out loud. Go for it. Now let's try it together. Count 3 beats to get ready, and then we'll start. Here's our 3 prep beats. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now for fun, let's try it faster. Often with an 8 on the bottom, it goes pretty quick. It might go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you try that fast with me? Just go for it. Ready? I'll count 3 beats to begin. Here are the prep beats. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's another rhythm to try. What's our time signature? Hey, wait a minute. There's some notes missing. Oh, that's on purpose. I'd like you to help me figure out what note could fit in the blank spaces to make these measures complete. So what's our time signature? If you said 6/8, you're correct. So that tells us we can fit 6 eighth note beats in every measure. And that will be very important to help us know what kind of note we could fit in each of these blanks. So what kind of note would fit right here? I'll help you with this first one. We know that a dotted quarter note gets 3 beats. So we can think 1, 2, 3. Plus a quarter note which gets 2 beats. So now we're up to 5 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 1 beat left. So the only kind of note that could fit in there would be an 8th note. So our job is to fill in each blank with just 1 note that could fill up the entire space that's blank. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. What kind of note could fit right there? Just 1 single note. Can you tell me? If you said a dotted quarter note, you're correct. That's the only kind of note, single note, that could take up 3 beats. We could have put something else, like we could have put 3/8 notes. But for this challenge, I'm trying to have you think of 1 single note that could fill in all the empty space that we have. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here's our next measure. We have a quarter note, a blank, and then 3/8 notes. So what should I place right here? If you said an 8th note, you're correct. We have just 1 beat that is missing from that measure. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, now what note could fill in an entire 6 beats? The answer is the dotted half note. Remember, when we used to have our time signatures with a 4 on the bottom, this would get 3 beats, but now with an 8 on the bottom, they get 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can take up the whole measure. Now, to help us with this rhythm, let's write in the counts. Okay, we've got our counts ready. And again, I recommend you writing in the counts as you're first learning how to do these kinds of rhythms. I'll give 6 beats of preparation, 6 prep beats, and then away we go. Get ready to count out loud the beat while we clap the rhythm. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great job learning about 3/8 and 6/8 time signatures today. For extra practice with counting and performing rhythms using these 2 time signatures, be sure to use the printable materials and games available on our website. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Okay, kids, figure out this time signature. 17,128. Oh, 17,128 time signature. No problem, huh? Excuse me, that would be 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flags for 17,128th notes in every measure. Wow. Let me know if you need any other help with your music theory homework. Bye. Oh my goodness. Princess, wait up.